How do you know if it's real? Hey y'all, I'm Victor E, and I help provide insight to empower. And today I wanted to talk about relationships, trauma bonding, and what I'll say is a soulmate, heart resonance, real, real life, real shit bond. So in my experience, I've had the trauma bond, what's sometimes known as a karmic relationship, a twin flame union, a lot of different names for pretty much the same thing, for how it plays out. And this is, I feel like what sets me apart is pragmatic spirituality. How do you practically apply the etheric, the occult, the conceptual, and into how it plays out in real life, in real time. And so for this topic, I'm using numerous relationships. The main one is with one who was just a very genuinely loving, kind, awesome person. The person who got me into art and has saved my life, honestly. But where it and how we define a trauma bond in real life, a karmic relationship, is it's with this question: does this relationship perpetuate my wounds? Does it perpetuate the wounded dynamic that I've grown accustomed to? And in that relationship, that for both parties, and that relationship, it definitely was the case where she grew up taking care of her mom, playing the caretaker, not getting to, maybe have a full, rich childhood. And for me, it was being enabled, being taken care of, and not being allowed to stand on my own 2 feet. And that's where I had ended the relationship, is because I was too aware of the dynamic that was playing out and too unwilling, or just not able to see how it could continue in a loving way. There was a lot of guilt, a lot of shame that came up. But it's the main question to ask is this keeping me in my wounds? Am I keeping the other person in their wounds as well? Now, where I've seen and talked to, I'm always asking the people I know, my aunts, uncles. I was at my friend's wedding. I asked, I think it was the relative. I was a friend of the bride, and I asked like a relative of the groom, an old married couple, like, why has it worked out for you guys? Like, what do you do? What did you find in each other? What keeps it working? How did you meet is always like my opener. I'm always very much interested in that kind of stuff, because I want to be in a relationship that works and that, stands the test of time. That's something that my heart really wants. And something that is key to my vision. And I feel like this is a good segue to get into the main arc of this, is of like the good lasting relationship, that's not a toxic wound trauma bond relationship, is what is your vision? What life are you trying to create for yourself? And I got this from Matthew Hussey. Highly recommend checking out his work. Matthew Hussey, Hussey, relationship guy, and has a British accent. Into that. But what is your vision for your life? And if someone comes along who doesn't fit that vision, do you break integrity? Do you kind of, abandon or stray from your vision to try and hang on to this person? It touches on scarcity mindset. On, I got one person, and they're good enough, and I can, tolerate them, or whatever the case may be. And so you start to like, your vision's this way, and you start to like, appear off this way. Do you know what kind of person you want to be with? My aunt, on my mom's side, my aunt Sylvia, she's also a healer, just one day said to herself, like, I want this, and this, and this in her husband. Part of it was for him to be a Chinese guy. I don't know what that was about, but she said, I remember her saying, like, if I have to dig my way straight down and like pop out on the other side of the earth, like in China, then she would do that. But it was that resolute clarity of intention. Intention is so key, especially to manifestation. If you're into that law of attraction and stuff, intention is everything, and so is integrity to that intention. If you're like, I intend for this, I intend for that, I intend, and just like all over the place, which I don't fault you for. That's something I've been guilty of, and it's helped me to join a group that helps me get clear on what kind of life I've had, based on like wounds and inner child work and masks and like villains. Getting clear on that, and then getting clear on my vision for myself, which I've been kind of clear on. Like, it's mainly been like knowing what I don't want and avoidance. So I'm very grateful to be working with people who get me clear on what I do want. And part of my vision is to have someone who's, different, just to keep it simple for this video, is like different enough from me that I keep learning and growing, and pretty much just having like the same core values, right? For me, that's like monogamy is big for me. Poly is for another video, let's say. But growth, where we spend our time, what we spend our energy on, commitment to ourselves, and commitment, like not just to each other, but like having a good boundary about the relationship is very important for me. Someone who chooses me is very important for me. Having grown up a child of neglect and with abandonment wounds, having someone who chooses and values me because I choose and value myself, not because I'm waiting for someone to choose and value me, but because I do that for myself, they also choose and value me. I get to be chosen and valued by someone else as well. And again, that growth mindset is imperative. It branches off from there, but staying on topic is knowing what it is that you really value, what it is that you won't tolerate, and what you're flexible on, but always having your vision in mind, and that being only part of your vision. Another part, your family, your career, your passions, your hobbies, being a really fully developed person, and maintaining integrity to what it is that you value. Where wounds come in is where there can be mutual healing, right? Part of the growth mindset is mutual healing. Co-regulation is imperative to healing. It's part of what makes therapy a thing at all, is that you get help from someone that mirrors to you and maybe provides a space where you can learn to regulate yourself, and that feeds into like a relationship. You take what you learn in therapy and you start applying it in your life. At least that's what's been the case for me. Unburden yourself, speak about what you can't speak about, and then it gets easier to speak about it with other people, vis-a-vis YouTube. And so now that you're able to regulate yourself, you can be in a relationship with someone else who is also regulating themselves. And that's what's making a strong, healthy bond of interdependence rather than like enmeshed codependence or codependency. So for your relationship that you want to manifest, is it taking, how much time and space in your mind and in your day is it taking? Is it distracting you from your work? Because that's something that's been absolutely life delaying for me, honestly. I feel like spiritual ego here can really taint, kind of corrupt the integrity of this video, is if I didn't speak to how distracted I've been in my life because I wanted someone to be codependent with, and exactly why I couldn't, like manifest my partner, is because I didn't know the ways in which I was looking for that, or I was just like straight up like lying to myself for not able to see that. And especially in like the last person that I dated and the person that I'm seeing at the time of this video is really sitting in the discomfort of choosing myself. Yeah, of like choosing, instead of acting on this insecurity and the fear of not wanting to be neglected or abandoned, choosing instead to have a secure practice, having a secure attachment style. Very briefly, there's anxious-avoidant, and anxious-avoidant / fearful is the third one, and secure. So there's four main attachment styles, and this is just attachment that we learned growing up with our parents. So with my mom, it was like, the more anxious-avoidant, and my dad was like, I think it was like anxious-avoidant. My attachment style was more fear-based, fearful of being around them, or fearful that they would leave. So that was like my homework in this life, is to go through that and then find within myself the ability to have a secure attachment style, which is what I call like an open door policy on love, where when love comes in, we welcome it, and if for whatever reason it just doesn't work out, we allow love to leave. I'm still getting there. At the time of this video, I'm very much still getting there. I can tell you for a long time, it was very much like, no, I don't want love, I don't need it, screw it. But really, I don't want to get hurt, kind of thing. And then when it would like, I would like be ignoring red flags, or it wouldn't work out for whatever reason. Again, like anxious, don't leave, please don't leave. Avoidant, I don't need you anyway, like it's not working out, whatever. But again, working our way towards that secure within ourselves type of relationship. So yeah, love can come in and we welcome it. And when it's not here, actually, for those of you who aren't inside my head, I kind of picture like me sitting in a kitchen and there's one door to the kitchen from the outside open, and I'm just sitting there, I'm just chilling. If you haven't read The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., I forget, highly recommend it. But he talks about having like a magic fridge or kitchen where you just have all the food that you need. And if someone comes along, is like, you know, I can give you some of my food, but you have to do this, and this. You can just be like I don't need that. I have a magic fridge, right? I just open it and it has exactly what I need. It just talks about how like that's how we look at love, right? You have the love that you need, and maybe you've been conditioned to believe otherwise, that you need it from someone else. And as humans, we do need, you know, that good co-regulation of friends, family, or at least, you know, the family that we make along the way, a good support system. But of course, always starting with supporting ourselves, with believing in ourselves. But yeah, just like being in that magical kitchen of my own, sitting at a table, maybe reading, just doing what I do. And if, you know, someone comes by, walks in, and there's a good connection there, maybe they sit with me, maybe we, kind of switching metaphors here, walk together, grow together for a little while. I'm all about that. I'm all for that. I would love that. But if they do have to leave, like I picture another door in that kitchen, they do have to leave, then I wish them the absolute best. I'm grateful for our time together. But one never forces someone to stay when their heart has left. Yeah. We never want someone to stay if their heart has already left. I speak volumes on that subject, but I think that's good for now. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, things that you want me to elaborate on, or any points, drop them in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. Share it if you feel so complied. I want to say inclined and compelled. If you feel so inclined or compelled to share this video, please do so, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you. Much love. Peace.